Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to my WWE 205 live review for January 31st, 2017. And I know I'm a little bit behind on these videos, but I'm going to catch up. I'm going to watch 205 Live, Raw, and SmackDown, and then 205 Live from last week. And then I'm going to watch Elimination Chamber tomorrow, and then tonight's Raw at some point tomorrow as well. So I hope I can accomplish those goals, but let's get through this first. So I'm going to start off with 205 Live. So we had Corey Graves, Mauro Ranallo, and Austin Aries on commentary for this show. And the first match was Tony Nese versus Lince Dorado. And I thought this was a good opening matchup here. Lince Dorado hits a sick head scissors kick takedown onto Tony Nese. Looked really cool. And then Lince Dorado hits a dive through the ropes. And then he attacks Tony Nese. He puts him in the ring, and Tony Nese slams his head down, and he hits a sick right hand right to his face. And Tony Nese dominates the matchup for a while, but then eventually Lince Dorado makes a comeback. He hits a springboard stunner on Tony Nese, and then he hits the springboard moonsault on him. Then eventually Tony Nese tries to go off the top rope, but Lince Dorado hits a drop kick, and he goes for the... And there was another sick spot where Tony Nese had him up on the ropes, and he hit a knee to the gut. Catches him into a gut buster, which looked really cool. And then eventually Tony Nese wins with the knee strike in the corner and picks up the victory. And afterwards, Tony Nese beats the crap out of Lince Dorado. He German suplexes him into the rope, into the turnbuckles, and he goes to hit the knee strike again. But then TJ Perkins comes out and makes the save and hits a detonation kick on Tony Nese and chases him out of the ring. So overall, I thought this was all pretty good. I'm really not. I really don't mind seeing a Tony Nese TJ Perkins feud, but I would like them to give some sort of storyline reason for it, because right now it doesn't really have a purpose. They're just kind of feuding just to give them something to do, which I kind of wish we could have a little bit of a purpose behind it than just them just match. So I hope that's what happens. And TJ Perkins really has fallen since winning the Cruiserweight Classics, hasn't he? He lost the Cruiserweight title to the Brian Kendrick, and he really hasn't recovered since then. He's just been kind of there, so it's kind of weird. I'm not like a huge TJ Perkins fan, but I am a fan of him, and I think he deserves at least something better than what he's doing right now. But I like the push that Tony Nese is getting, though. I think that's really good. And then next, Rich Swann gets interviewed. Now, if you don't know, Rich Swann ended up getting injured doing the attack that he gave to Neville. I believe what injured him was probably when he dove through the ropes, and you could see his feet kind of hit the ropes really awkwardly. So I think that's probably what injured his foot. And he was on crutches, and he says, "I bet the WWE Universe is surprised that he's injured, and because I was standing tall and raw, and quite frankly, I am too. But what happened was that was just adrenaline, and then I went and took my boot off, and now I'm wearing the boot that I got on." And he says that just because he's injured, that's not going to stop him from defeating Neville and becoming the brand new WWE Cruiserweight Champion. And then Neville comes up and says that no matter what happens, whether it's me laying you out or taking the title from you, or you attacking me, you're always going to end up down. And then he says that the next time you and I step in the ring, I'm gonna make sure that you stay down. And then Rich Swann says that he could take him even with one leg. And then Neville shoves Rich Swann and leaves. And I thought this was a great backstage segment. It does suck that Rich Swann is hurt. But I think the only thing that comes out of it is when he comes back, that's really going to intensify the Neville-Rich Swann feud. I don't know exactly how long he's going to be out for. I would assume maybe 6 weeks, maybe. I think he'll just come back just before WrestleMania. So maybe you could do Swann and Neville at Mania for the title in a ladder match or something. But then again, you really want to take the risk of having Swann getting injured. So we'll have to wait and see. But I thought this was a good backstage segment. And then Grand Metalik we have a Grandmaster League video package announcing that he's coming to WWE. And then we had the next match. It was Akira Tozawa, who finally made his WWE main roster debut, versus Aaron Solo with the Brian Kendrick on commentary. I'm guessing that the Brian Kendrick's going to feud with Akira Tozawa, which I think is fine. You know, it gives him something to do. And overall, this match was a squash, but I still liked it because it made Akira Tozawa look strong in his first match here. He hits a senton on Solo, and Solo hits a wicked elbow to the face of Akira Tozawa, dominates the matchup for a couple of minutes. Then Akira Tozawa makes a comeback. He hits a torpe suicida through the ropes. Then he hits a crossbody in the ring. And then he hits a snap German suplex for the win. And afterwards, the Brian Kendrick is just left speechless afterwards. And yeah, I like this. I like this. And then we have a backstage segment with Neville, and Noam Dar and Alicia Fox come up, and Noam Dar says he's happy to be his tag team partner, and he says that they're both going to take out Neville, and they're both going to take out Cedric Alexander and Jack Gallagher, and Neville says that he doesn't really want to be his partner, but he's fine with putting up with him, and he says to leave his baggage backstage, referring to Alicia Fox, which he does. What's hard about what I hate about this segment is the noise kept cutting out because the sound, so I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but that's pretty much what the gist of the thing was. So I don't know if that was just a production issue, if that was the issue with my network or what, but overall I thought that sucked in that regard, but the segment would have been fine if it wasn't for that reason. But the technical issues happen, so. Then we had the main event. It was a tag team match. Neville and Noam Dar versus Cedric Alexander and Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher is really not doing anything now, is he? It doesn't really feel like he's as important as he was before, but whatever. And him and Neville have an exchange, which I was kind of happy about because I've always wanted to see them face off. And they start chain wrestling each other for a little bit, and he ends up and Neville works over the left arm of Gallagher for a little bit, but then Gallagher hits a sick way of getting out of it. And then Noam Dar tags himself in, and Cedric and Gallagher dominate him for a while. And then eventually they target the injured arm of Jack Gallagher, which I thought looked really cool. And they really get the heat on him and beat the crap out of him, which I thought, like I said, was some good double team stuff. But you could kind of tell that Neville doesn't really want to work with Noam Dar because of the way he keeps tagging himself in the match, and Noam Dar had to tag himself in this match, and you could just kind of tell they don't really like each other. Eventually Jack Gallagher hits a headbutt and knocks Noam Dar down. He falls on him. He's about to pin him, but Neville breaks up the pinfall, and then he hits an enzuigiri on Cedric Alexander. And Neville asks Noam Dar to come into the ring. And eventually, when he goes to make the tag, Neville puts his hand back and gets off the apron. And Neville says, "You had your chance and you blew it." So Neville walks off on Noam Dar, and then Cedric Alexander gets the hot tag, hit all his moves on Noam Dar. Noam Dar tries to walk away, but Jack Gallagher throws him in the ring, and Cedric Alexander hits a lumbar check for the win, and Cedric Alexander and Jack Gallagher win the matchup. And overall, I thought this match was good. It was kind of like one of those typical tag team matches, and I feel like if they had to make do with what they had, because Rich Swann was supposed to be this match, but he got hurt. I'm assuming it would have been the same type of match anyways, but whatever. This does lead me to question what they're going to do with the Cruiserweight title now that Rich Swann is hurt. Because Rich Swann and Neville were kind of the only ones really fighting in the for the Cruiserweight title. Are they going to give the shot to Cedric Alexander? Are they going to give the shot to Jack Gallagher? Are they going to give the shot to TJ Perkins? That does kind of leave me in question. So I am a little bit interested to see what they do with the Cruiserweight division now that Rich Swann's kind of MIA right now. So we're going to have to wait. But yeah, if I had to rate this show, I thought the show was okay. Nothing fancy, but an okay show. I enjoyed it. I I liked the. I mean, I liked everything on it, but it just wasn't a good show. It wasn't a good show. It wasn't a great show, but it was an okay show. It wasn't anything special. So that's pretty much it. Um, and you know, make sure you subscribe to all my channels, and make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.